the woman who refused to depend on a man. This is an empire built not on an inheritance, but on a refusal to believe that your financial security should depend on a man. This is the story of women who decided to build their own kingdoms from the ground up. Their journeys of grit, guts, and hustle prove that true empowerment is never given, it's built. And it all starts with the choice to be your own boss. The power of a refusal. So, why does a woman choose to build her own empire? It starts with a flat-out rejection of the status quo. It's a refusal to be a passenger in your own life. For generations, the unspoken rule was that financial security was something to be provided for women, not created by them. But a new generation of leaders is proving that the real power lies in the paychecks they write for themselves. Now, this path isn't about rejecting partnership, it's about rejecting dependency. It's about having control, building a legacy, and creating a life where your success is entirely your own. Economic independence isn't just about money, it's the freedom to make your own choices, to support your community, and to define your own damn worth. From a garage to a global empire. Take Jane Liu. Back in 2010, she was an accountant with a stable corporate job, but she felt trapped. So, she secretly quit, racked up $60,000 in debt, and started an online fashion boutique from her parents' garage. To keep her parents from finding out, she'd put on a suit every morning and pretend she was still heading to her office job. Her first business attempt failed miserably, leaving her broke and full of doubt. But she wasn't done. A month later, she launched Showpo with just a laptop and a couple of shelves of clothes. She went all in on social media long before it was a standard business playbook and eventually bought out her business partner. By age 27, she was a self-made millionaire. And she did it all without taking a single dollar of outside investment, bootstrapping that garage startup into a global fashion empire that now earns over $100 million in annual revenue. From homelessness to kingmaker. And if you think that's impressive, let me tell you about Arlan Hamilton. Her story is one of the most powerful examples of building from absolute zero. While homeless, sleeping in airports and living on food stamps, she came up with a plan that most people would call insane. She saw a massive blind spot in the world of venture capital. Back in 2015, less than 10% of all venture funding went to founders who were women, people of color, or LGBTQ+. So, she decided to change the game herself. Pitching investors while carrying everything she owned on her back, she eventually secured enough funding to launch Backstage Capital in 2015. Her mission? To invest exclusively in these underestimated founders. Since then, Backstage Capital has invested in over 200 companies led by the very people the system had overlooked. Arlan Hamilton didn't just build her own success, she built a launchpad for a whole new generation of independent entrepreneurs. Building a community lifeline. Economic independence isn't always about a global brand. Sometimes, it's about building a lifeline for your own community. Take a place like Hamburg, Arkansas. When a small rural town's only pharmacy closes, residents might have to travel miles for essential health care. This is where entrepreneurs like Dr. Mona McBride step up. She saw her community's need and decided to open her own pharmacy, investing her own money to get started. But when it came time to stock the shelves, she didn't turn to big banks, which often create barriers for women entrepreneurs. Instead, she secured a mission-driven loan for over $128,000 from an organization called Hope. She built her business not for fame, but to serve her community, create jobs, and provide critical care. As she put it, hope allows seeds to be planted and grow. Her story proves that self-reliance can empower an entire town. These women prove that the path to an empire starts with one decision: to build it yourself. If you're feeling inspired to take control of your financial future, share one goal you have in the comments. What's the first step you're taking to build your own independence? The journeys of Jane Liu, Arlan Hamilton, and Dr. McBride are about so much more than business. They're about breaking a cycle. They show that when women build their own wealth, they don't just lift themselves up, they invest back into their communities, they create jobs, and they fund the next wave of female leaders. They are challenging old-school norms simply by backing their own ambition. True freedom is never handed to you. It's something you build, one refusal, one risk, and one win at a time.